It's the bane of civilized society in the 21st century, urban sprawl. Millions of people around the world move into cities each year, looking for work and a better way of life. What they often find is pollution, traffic, and a high cost of living. 100 years ago, around half of all Americans lived on farms. Today, that number has dwindled to less than 2%, with almost all food production taking place on super-efficient industrial farms. Add to this the growing population worldwide and the potential shortage of land for growing the food these people will require. Pollution and climate change only make the problem worse as farmers struggle with declining harvests on existing farms. To address these challenges, researchers at the University of Arizona in Tucson are experimenting with futuristic alternatives to traditional agriculture.
With the concerns of increasing world population, reduction in the farmlands, food security issues, food safety issues, I think there's a huge demand for systems such as controlled environment agriculture to produce good quality, safer produce with less use of energy, water, and labor. What we are doing here in the Controlled Environment Agriculture Center, we are focusing on resource savings on the systems. We are trying to save energy, save water, and fertilizer to produce higher yields.
These new theories are already gaining traction in Latin America.
It's springtime here in Panama, and it's the season for harvesting watermelons. These ones are probably headed off to America or even Europe. And you know, they've been harvesting them this way for maybe 100 years, but that may be about to change if one man has his way.
It's very simple. We have to do something because the way traditional farming is, we're not going to be able to feed the world population over the next 30 to 50 years.
David Parenza has been growing and exporting produce for more than a decade. Panama's climate, canal, and business-friendly government has allowed it to become a crossroads for international shipping. But there are problems here as well.
Climate change constantly. We find in our fields more and more of this problem of mildew, and it's created due to the weather, terrain.
Growing in a climate-controlled environment solves many problems being faced by farmers around the world. But the shortage of arable land is also becoming an issue. Extreme weather conditions such as cold snaps and droughts can also cause shortages and higher food prices. Parenza hopes to tackle these agriculture problems in the future. One potential solution, the world's first vertical urban farm.
Everybody knows what a greenhouse is. And around the world, they have environment-controlled greenhouses where they control everything, and they produce a much better quality food with less chemicals and some even organic. Now, if you take a greenhouse and you stack one greenhouse on top of the other, you have a vertical growing system. Obviously, what we want to do is we want to put it in a building, go 5-story, 10-story, even 20 stories high.
We can grow 10 times what we can grow right now per acre. We can maximize the yield in the space as well as produce a healthier, more nutritious food for the customers.
The plan is to use high-tech methods to build these urban vertical farms around the world. If that sounds expensive, consider the cost savings of growing locally.
A lot of the fruits and vegetables that you buy in the United States come from Latin America, and there's a substantial cost in the transportation. With a vertical farm, right there in the city, there is no transportation cost, so you have a lot of savings right there alone.
Parenza hopes that his vertical farming concept will be the first of many to crop up in urban areas like this one around the globe. And if that happens, the farmer of the future may very well go to work in a high-rise like that one.
Urban vertical farms are going to be built around the world. It's going to happen. Somebody's going to do it. So we figure it might as well be us.
Chuck Holton, CBN News, Panama City, Panama.